How tall does a guy have to be to date you?
6'3". 6'5".
Okay, so how tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Okay.
5'7".
So how tall do you think I am?
5'5".
And how tall are you again?
5'5".
And what do you do?
I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay. Do you have any businesses we could be on the lookout for?
No, just not right now.
I do not have to have a driver's license to drive a car. This is not a commercial vehicle.
Okay.
I know my rights.
Okay. You're under arrest.
You know, this morning he really pissed me off. You know what he did?
What?
He opened the door for another girl.
She was in a wheelchair.
Hi, my name is Erin. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm
The things men do are genuinely a mystery to me, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Can somebody please explain to me why it is such an impossible task for a man to simply pick up his toothbrush and put it in the drawer where it belongs? How hard was that? Because you guys, it's really starting to get to me.
Why would you?
No, I can't laugh yet. I've got to hold it in.
If she's lying, then she's lying. But if she's not lying, this just goes to show you how degenerate our society has become, that men would even think of subscribing to someone who looks like this. You've given people built with the body of Michelin Man the confidence of someone who has the body of Hercules.
I don't even want to sit here and be like, you're stupid, you're a fascist, because like that doesn't get anywhere with these people. It's just like, there's nothing else to say or do.
Yes.
Okay, if you voted for that, then like I don't understand. And like I'm not even at the place where I'm like, if you voted for that, then I'm cutting you out of my, like I'm not like thinking that. I'm just like, how can I understand like people I know that push that aside to be like, well, our economy or whatever.
You basically did just sit there and say you're stupid and fascist and use all of these terms you don't know the meaning to, and also sound like you're about to cry because people disagree with what you believe in. And the hilarious thing about the things you believe in is you don't even know what it is you believe in. Social media tells you what to believe in, and you follow along like the brainwashed puppet you are, and then cry about it because you feel like your existence is being wiped out apparently.
If I said my pronoun was hottest man alive, if that was my genuine pronoun, would you feel obliged to call me that every day? Hey, hottest man alive? No, you wouldn't, would you? No. So, in other words, it all depends who decides what they want to be called.
And isn't that what we're discussing? The fact that I don't have to do that,
So why do we have to call Sam Smith they?
Because we're respecting their
Why don't you respect
choice.
me? That's my choice.
When do I have to
it's
call
my
you?
choice.
When do I have to call you?
I want to be called hottest man alive.
Hottest man alive.
Yes,
all the time.
That is my choice, and I demand you respect it.
That is not what we have been discussing. What we have been discussing is the fact that there are a group of people who want to force you to use words that you don't agree with or believe in, and then they go off and claim that they're the most accepting people on planet Earth, which is obviously total bullcrap. But hey, I identify as a white woman.
So I want to take a minute to talk about looting, because I think it's worth considering why people would run into an active fire to steal stuff rather than fleeing the fire. And it seems like in the media coverage that I'm listening to that people think that people are just like greedy who want to be looting. And I'm just wondering if maybe these people have actually considered whether it is safer for them to run into a fire or to continue to exist within capitalism without access to resources. And after weighing the pros and cons, they concluded that the safer option is to run into the fire to steal stuff. Because you never see it like Elon or Jeff or Mark running into a fire to steal stuff, because they don't have to run into a fire to steal stuff. They can just steal from their workers via wage theft. And that's legal within capitalism. So if we want people to stop looting, I'm wondering if maybe the solution isn't to have more police, but rather to have a system where people don't feel like it's a better option to run into a fire. No, I just feel like we can do better than that.
If it's the case that there are a group of people who would rather run into a burning building because apparently they'll rather do that than live their own lives, I would question the mental state of those people and whether we should listen to anything those types of people would even say or do. But I'm not judgmental though.
Men should pay for the first date.
Like, I'm happy to split it. I mean, I do think that men should pay for all their crimes. But I think on like a first date, I don't think it should be assumed that they're going to pay. I do think that personally for me, whoever asked for the first date should pay.
I'm fighting for equality and I'm fighting to be seen as an equal, then I would like to treat them, unfortunately, the same. I would love if they paid.
So, no, should he pay? It depends who asked who out.
If I'm saying like, don't worry, I have this one, hopefully there's a next one where you could then offer your services, you know. So if I can, yeah, I'll be that one reaching for that. Don't worry about it. I got that.
I think in a heterosexual relationship where you're doing sort of a courting thing, paying for the first date is just a gesture.
Yeah, this is the thing about all of these feminists. They want all of this equality, but they only want equality where it benefits them. When it comes to paying for these dates, you can see how they struggled and were so angry at the fact that because of the fact that they know they have to follow everything to its logical conclusion, which is if you want everything to be equal, that would mean you would have to pay for the date. And just to point out, this whole thing of whoever asks who out first should pay for the date is pure stupidity. Let us use this in another situation. If you were to ask your friend out to say you should go and eat out somewhere, I'm sure not every time you ask your friend out to eat, you are the one to pay every time. That is just stupid, and it's just a manipulation tactic that they all use to get the man to pay because they want the man to ask them out, but then when he asks them out, they also want him to pay when they know they don't ask them out. Make it make sense. Yep. We're doomed. Before we get back into the video, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell so that you're notified when one of my videos come out. Also subscribe to my new channel, Yinka Unfiltered, which will be linked in the description down below. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at YinkaThatGuy, and let's get back into the video.
Do you think that women in sports should get paid the same as men?
100%. Yeah.
I've just met some people that have said no, they shouldn't because they don't bring in as many crowds.
That's always an argument, right? That like there's not enough money and then therefore like women's sport is super underfunded, so then women don't go into it. I think like male sports are probably like overfunded, so what if you took some of that money and then put it into women's sports and then you could like, you could expand both, because I think that
in parallel.
Yeah.
I suppose the debate is like, you know, 5 sets versus 3 sets and stuff like that, like men play for longer sets in tennis. But I don't know, it doesn't make sense for AFL probably, because I mean like the crowds for women's AFL isn't as big.
This is funny to me, but why in the blue hell should the men's organization fund the women's organization? If you guys are good enough, you should be able to get your funding from advertisements, from tickets and things like that. But of course, as usual, you want men to do all the work and then you claim that you're the one who did all the work when you really didn't. Equality.
Hi. Look. Here, we're in Ross. Look how cute. Huh? What are they looking at? Anyway, I was going to cheer myself up, but I don't remember why. Doesn't matter.
What the fuck?
Homeschooling will no longer be an automatic right under new government proposals. The Children's Wellbeing in Schools Bill will give local councils the power to demand school attendance if they deem a child's home environment to be unsuitable or unsafe. The Education Secretary says the proposed legislation will seek to keep children safe.
We can do much more as a country to keep children safe, and the measures today will involve the police, children's social care and education working much more closely, sharing information more effectively and taking on responsibilities to protect children.
It's funny how I've recently been talking a lot about how people should homeschool their kids, and then you have things like this where they're saying if it's not a safe environment, whoever decides that, they won't allow you to homeschool your kid. They'll put them into the indoctrination camp so that, you know, the qualified people can teach your kids because they know best. All of that indoctrination and teaching has made these kids go into school, come out with their hair dyed a rainbow color and believing that there are hundreds of genders. Yeah, that's definitely not a safe space.
Leave me the fuck alone. Don't fucking.
You came up to me and now you're mad because you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, my brother and my dad are in the United States Marines.
It's not an argument.
And they don't think you need.
That's
some
not an
big-ass
argument.
guy.
Their
I don't
opinions
care
don't matter.
What you think is an argument.
Okay, well then why'd you come up to me?
Because you're a bitch. That's why.
You surround
And
yourself
go put it
by...
on your fucking YouTube channel.
We will. Check it out at Liberty
Liberal girl
Hangout.
Goes crazy at stupid conservative girl.
That's a good title. Okay.
I've questioned the intelligence of a lot of people in today's world because I don't know how you can come up to someone and then say they should leave you alone when you're the one who approached them to ask them questions. But of course, it's the same old thing with these people. They go up to people and then when asked to defend their positions, they do what this person did. They either walk away or curse you out.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Are you single?
Kinda.
What do you mean, kinda?
I mean, like, I have a baby daddy.
But it's not serious with him?
Fuck no.
So how'd the baby come before the title?
So, like, he's my best friend. We've been friends, like, kicking it for 4 years. And now we have a baby.
But why not ask him to just be your man and make it official?
Because I'm 25, I don't want to do that.
What are you waiting on?
Like, marriage is for the rest of your life. The average lifespan's like 80 years. That's 40-some years.
But you have a child with this man.
And he does what he needs to do for him. So why push it?
But what about the boyfriend title?
I mean, I'm single. I do what I want.
Is that what you want, though?
Yeah. I've been supporting myself since I was 17. So
I'm trying to figure out why in the blue hell all of these plus size people, as they like to call them, go out dressing like this. I can see why you say the stupid things you say, like your baby daddy and all of this nonsense, when you dress like an idiot.
Remember, liking trans women doesn't make you gay.
That doesn't make me gay, huh?
How has Hollywood changed in terms of African representation in what you see since you started out to what's being produced now?
Yes, quite a bit has changed. I must say, because of course when I came out with Amistad, I was nominated for a Golden Globe, but they ignored me for the Oscars, talking about the fact that they thought that I had just came off the boat and off the streets, where Steven Spielberg, used me for this film, and even though I successfully did that, they just didn't feel like I was an actor for whom we should pay any respect to. So this conceptual idea of diversity and all that, it still has a long way to go. Systemic racism don't change like that anytime soon. I mean, I'm still struggling trying to make a living.
After 30 years in this business?
After, let's speak, 30 years, let's say like maybe the first 10 years was really trying to, sort of acclimate myself to the industry.
And then establish yourself.
And establish myself. I've been in this business and making films now over 2 decades, and still, with 2 Oscar nominations, been in many big blockbuster films, and yet I'm still struggling financially to make a living. I'm definitely underpaid.
Growing up, you're one of the first big black actors I saw in big budget films, so it's mind-boggling to me.
Well, that's a sign for you that systemic racism is not something that you can deal with lightly. It's so deep inserted in so many things that we do across the board, and you don't overcome it. You just have to sort of like you have to cope with it and survive the best way you can.
Here we go again with this systematic racism that everyone wants to talk about. Well, everyone who wants to be a victim seems to talk about. I don't know how in the blue hell you're struggling financially. That is just a skill issue and an issue that you're having. You more than likely have made more money in your lifetime than 95% of human beings on planet Earth, and you're telling us you're struggling financially due to systematic racism. I can guarantee you it has nothing to do with this fake ghost of racism racism that you're talking about, and more so an issue you have with your finances. There are a lot of other black actors who are doing perfectly fine and not struggling financially, and I've seen this actor many times, but I can guarantee you everyone watching this video will say they've probably seen you, but no one knows your name. You're that guy that's in a lot of films and you've probably done good acting in those films, but you're just not good enough for us to know who you really are, and that's a you problem.
I will never understand why men are so mad about the society they created. Yes, being a provider also means providing financially as well. If my value exponentially drops the day I turn 30 based on your society, and I'm not compensated for the years I step away from work to be a mother, then better fucking believe you need to go to work and you need to pay these bills. For the record, misogyny hurts us all, but don't be mad. Don't be mad. This is what you wanted.
Who is telling you guys that men don't want to be providers and that they're mad at providing? Because there is not a genuine whole-ass man that is mad about providing. What they're mad about is being taken advantage of. They're mad for working 3 jobs trying to provide a secure, healthy home for you to raise the children in, just to come home to you bitching and nagging or being unappreciative at all of the hard work that he does because you expect it and your entitlement doesn't allow you to appreciate shit. Some of these men are busting their asses so much just to come home and hear that it's not good enough. And why is it not good enough? Because his wife spent 6 hours on social media and all she's seeing is people's highlight reels about how their lives are better. So now she's miserable and upset because he can't fill a void that's pretty much fake and imaginary and delusional. So yeah, men are not mad at providing for the right woman. They're mad at being taken advantage of and having these women be so unappreciative and ungrateful. And what does he get in return? He's going to end up divorced. He's going to lose time with his children even after he's been providing for 10 plus years. So you cry about missing 10 plus years of your life and you want to be compensated, but how are the men compensated other than losing all of their shit in divorce and then not seeing their kids?
And just to add on to the end of all of that, this is the stupidity about all of these feminists. They claim that they want to destroy the patriarchy and destroy everything the patriarchy stands for. But then of course, when it comes to something that they claim the patriarchy created, that they of course benefit from, now all of a sudden they're saying, well, you're the one who created it, and of course in that situation, you know, that thing that we benefit from, we don't really want to destroy that. You guys have to put up with it because the patriarchy created it. Stupid people once again saying stupid things.
No, it was about Andrew Wilson. He brings up tone policing sometimes when people say, well, I agree with you, but I don't like the way you said it. I think it's just because he doesn't meet people where they're at. And I don't think he's...
Oh, that's a bunch of woman garbage. We have to meet people where they're at.
Do you want the vision that you see for the world or not?
And the vision I see for the world is not going to be met through convincing a bunch of emotional, irrational women that what is reality is non-negotiable.
Why do you have to be hateful in your speech?
It's
like,
not
you never
hateful.
say, you never,
not
what about male passivity?
It's more woman garbage.
You don't have to say it like that, though. You can just say
that is tone policing. It's nonsense. This whole, I agree with what you said, but not how you said it. That's bullshit. And this is the problem with giving women power, because now suddenly everyone's an HR manager. Everyone's a hall monitor.
No, I just don't understand why you have to say woman in front of it.
Because it's a woman problem. Men don't do this. Men don't constantly go, actually, I agree with you. I just don't like to deliver.
They literally prove her point during the whole video. All this video was I agree with what you're saying, but I don't agree with the way you're saying it, which is tone policing.
I'm in debt. I'm obese. I'm addicted to anime porn. I live in my mom's basement. And I'm confused about what gender I am. Now, let me tell you how to fix the country.
And what do you do?
I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay. Do you have any businesses we can be on the lookout for?
No, just not right now.
All too often, I hear leaders talk about providing everyone with dignity and respect like it's an aspirational goal. That's not good enough. Dignity and respect is the bare minimum. It's the floor of where we can be. We must set our sights higher and focus on intentional inclusivity, because there are still far too many people out there, not just LGBTQ individuals, that feel marginalized, shut out, or discriminated against. So for all of you out there, I ask you to set out your symbols of pride, share your pronouns in your email, particularly if you're a person who doesn't think they need to. Initiate difficult conversations about racial and gender barriers, and share a bit of your vulnerability in a way that draws others in. You all have the power to take intentionally inclusive actions to ensure the multiple perspectives that we know make us stronger as we devise winning warfighting strategies get heard.
Let me translate this for you. What he means by inclusive is you have to be inclusive to everything we say, but when it comes to things that you say, we're not going to be inclusive of that.
To say only women have a cervix, but
Is it transphobic, yes or no?
Is it transphobic? Look.
Had 10,000 people cross the channel since Starmer took office, but he doesn't want to call them illegals.
Vile trade that sits beneath irregular migration.
It's irregular, isn't it? We've got a Home Secretary who says refugees are welcome. Labour has a Secretary of State for Business and Trade that thinks working from the office is so old-fashioned. He wants to end, are you ready for this? The culture of presenteeism, all right? We've got an Energy Minister who does stuff like this.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
And just to bring us full circle, we've got a Foreign Secretary who thinks that climate change is a bigger threat than terrorism.
The threat may not feel as urgent as a terrorist or an imperialist autocrat, but it is more fundamental. It is systemic, it's pervasive, and accelerating towards us at pace.